Hi everyone, welcome back. So today is day 22. On this Sunday, we're going to do about a 30-minute class all about opening up through the backs of the legs, the hamstrings, and working towards splits. So if you are super flexible and splits is quite easy for you, then hopefully this will be a nice warm up and get yourself in there. But if splits is a no-go and you've never really been able to get there, then that's absolutely fine. This is just going to be a nice gentle class that will slowly open up through the backs of the legs, and maybe we might find a little bit more space there. So we've all got different flexibility. Let me know in the comments below how you get on, if you found it a little bit easier. And also just to remind you that we do have 2 yoga retreats this year, which we are so excited about. We've got one in the Lake District at the end of April, and then we've got another one in Spain in October, and all the details are in the description below. But you won't need anything for this class. If you want to, you can grab some yoga blocks that might help you get into your splits. But other than that, I will see you back on the mat. So we're going to start in child's pose. So in our child's pose, we can take the knees just a little bit wider, let those hips go back towards the heels, and then bring those arms out in front, melting down towards the mat. I encourage you to close your eyes. We're really just giving ourselves this time at the beginning to focus on the breath, get a little bit more in tune with the body. And just slow things down. And feeling that gentle breath coming in and out. You can feel the back expanding, the ribs expanding as you breathe in. And then feeling the body melting down towards the mat as you exhale. And you can start to deepen the breath, coming in through the nose. And a long exhale out through the nose. Releasing the breath out. And again, inhaling. You can even hold it at the top, filling the lungs up. And then slowly exhale out through the nose, melting the body down towards the mat. Just a couple more like this, inhaling. And a slow exhale. One more time, inhale, really fill the lungs up. Even feel the body lift a little bit off the ground. As you exhale, feeling the body melting down. This time our next inhale, we're going to roll up. You can even walk the hands up towards the knees, finding ourselves in our hero's pose, so our kneeling pose towards the back of the mat. Just bringing those knees together. From here, we're going to inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Finding that lift in the side of the body. And then as we exhale, taking the left hand down, just slightly behind us, more towards the back corner of the mat, and find this little side body stretch. You're reaching more towards the back of the room rather than over towards the side. And then our next inhale, coming back up, lifting both arms up. And then exhale, taking the right hand down towards the back right hand corner, and then find that sort of side back bend. And again, inhale, reaching up, lifting. Exhale, left hand plants over towards that left hand corner and reaching behind. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, the right hand comes down, reaching behind. Inhaling back up through center. This time we'll add those hips, so pushing those hips forwards. So we're going to plant that left hand down towards that left hand corner, and this time start to lift the hips, pushing them towards the front of the mat as we open the body up, reaching that arm behind, puffing that chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, lower the hips back down, bringing the arms up, inhale. Exhale, take that right hand down, lifting those hips up, opening the body up, finding this little back bend, even a side stretch. Exhale, lower the hips back down, one more time each side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, the left hand comes down, lift those hips, open the body. And exhale, hips come down, lift the arms, inhale. Exhale, right hand down, last time, push those hips forwards, open the chest. And exhale, lower the hips back down. We can bring both hands up overhead. And then as we exhale, take the arms all the way back behind. See if we can interlace them behind our backs. From here, we lift the chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. See if we can take those hands just a little bit away from the lower back. Inhale. And then exhale, slowly release the hands. And then from here, we're going to stand up onto our knees and just step with that right foot out in front. So a little simple way, stepping the foot out in front and then pushing those hips forwards, sinking down into our low lunge. We want to make sure that that front knee isn't coming past those toes, but it's directly above the ankle. Squeezing those hips forwards. Inhale, we can lift the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms out wide, opening the chest. You can even take the gaze up towards the ceiling. And then inhale, lift the arms back up. And as we exhale, we straighten the front leg, flexing that front foot and bringing the hands down underneath the shoulders, finding our half splits. Pulling those toes back, falling down over that straight leg. Inhaling here, find a halfway lift, lift the chest slightly. And then as we exhale, we fold down, maybe a little bit deeper. From here, I want you to plant that left hand underneath the shoulder and then peel the right arm up, finding this twist. You might feel a little bit more in that outer hip and that IT band. Really think about pulling those toes back and pulling that right hip back. So squeezing those inner thighs together, opening the chest, inhale. As we exhale, we bring that hand down, bending into the front leg, and finding our low lunge once again. Inhale, lifting the arms. And then as we exhale, start to lift back, and we're going to step that right foot all the way back, finding ourselves in our kneeling position once again to go through the other side. So here we're going to step that left foot out in front, and then starting to push those hips forwards, finding that stretch through that front hip flexor. Again, checking in with that knees not coming past the toes. As we inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, cactus the arms out wide, opening the chest. Find this little back bend, lifting the gaze. Inhale, lift the arms. As we exhale, straighten the front leg, flex the foot, folding down, half splits, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, find a halfway lift, lifting the chest slightly. Exhale, fold a little deeper. From here, planting the right hand this time as we inhale, lift the left arm up, finding this twist, pulling those toes back, really feeling that stretch to the outer hip. Inhale, open. And then exhale, planting the hand down, shifting forwards, find our low lunge once again. Inhale, lifting. And then exhale, we then lift back up, take that foot back, finding our kneeling position. And then this time we're going to bring our hands out in front, planting the hands down, spreading the fingers, finding our tabletop position. Shoulders over the wrists, find our cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, inhale. And then as we exhale, we round the spine, looking up towards the belly button, really push those hands into the mat. And again, inhale, lifting. And exhale, rounding. One more time, inhale, scoop the belly down, lift the chest. And exhale, rounding the back. From here, tuck the toes under, pushing through the hands and the feet, lift the hips, find our downward facing dog. Bend into the legs to start with. Lift those hips a little higher, really lengthening out the spine. Pushing the hands into the mat. Inhale and exhale. Walking through the feet, drawing one heel down at a time, stretching through the toes. And then gently walking the feet all the way up towards the top of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. Feet can be hip distance apart. Little bend in the legs, sway the body side to side, releasing the spine, releasing the neck. Inhale here. Exhale, release. And nice and slowly, we're going to roll up to standing. See how slow you can take it, feeling each vertebrae lining on top as you stand all the way up, the head coming up last. And as we get there, find our mountain pose, shoulders up, back and down, pelvis tucked, strong through those arms, through those legs, core engaged. Inhale and exhale. Looking down towards the feet, just bringing those toes together, heels just slightly apart. We inhale, lift the arms up, palms together. As we exhale, we forward fold down. Inhale, sliding the hands up the shins, finding a flat back. So roll the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, we fold again. So you can take the arms around the backs of the legs, drawing yourself down. Inhale, roll up to standing once more. Bring the arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bringing those palms to the chest, elbows out wide. And again, inhale, lift the arms, really connecting the movement to the breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, finding that flat back. Exhale, folding again, drawing yourself down. Inhale, roll up to standing, arms come up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, palms at the chest. This time looking down towards the feet, take the feet out wide, the width distance of the mat, and turning the toes just out slightly. From here, coming into our yoga squats and bending into the legs, taking those hips down towards the heels. If the heels start to lift a little bit, we may need to come up a little bit higher, or maybe taking those feet a little bit wider. We just want to think about making sure those knees are drawing out wide, so we're finding that hip stretch. Inhaling here wherever we are. Exhale to stay. And again, big breath in. And exhale. From here, looking down towards the mat, plant the hands in front. And we're going to take the weight more into the hands to lift the hips a little higher. And then step just the left leg back. So stepping that left leg as far back as we can take it, drop the back knee down and untucking the toes. So now we find ourselves in our lizard pose. So our right foot should be out in front. Our hands can come on the inside of that front foot. And that front foot, the toes turn out slightly and start to roll onto the outside blade of that foot and letting that knee fall out towards the side. So really sinking into those hips. Pushing the top of the foot, that back foot, down into the mat. Sinking the hips down. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. If you want, you can even use that right hand to just gently press that inner knee away or that inner thigh. Twisting through the spine, opening the chest towards the right. Inhale here. And exhale to stay. Looking back down towards the mat, planting the hands down. Tuck the back toes, and this time we're going to step that back foot back up towards the top of the mat to find that malasana. So stepping the left foot to the outside of that left hand, and then sink those hips down once again. So back into that yoga squat, drawing those knees out wide. Inhaling here, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, we're going to go to the other side. So plant the hands in front, lift the hips, step that right foot all the way back towards the back of the mat. Drop the back knee down, untucking the toes. Just bringing those hands underneath the shoulders once again. And starting to roll onto the outside of that left foot, letting that left knee draw out towards the side. Sinking the hips down, big breath in. If you want that extra little opening, you can just gently press that knee away, opening the chest towards the left. Inhale here. Exhale to stay. One more time, big breath in. And then exhale, look back down towards the mat, plant the hands, tuck the back toes. This time we're going to step that front foot towards the back, meeting in a downward dog. So the feet come all the way towards the back of the mat, feet hip distance apart. Hands shoulder distance apart, those hips nice and high. You can have a little bend in the legs. Inhaling here. And exhale. Remember, we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. The right leg comes up, inhale. And then as we exhale, we step that foot as close as we can between those hands. We might want to shimmy it forwards just a bit, making sure that they're not in line with one another, because that'll work against our balance, or make sure they're a little bit more further apart towards the edges of the mat, more on those train tracks, so that'll help with stability. From here, we're going to inhale, stand up, finding our high lunge, lift the arms up. And then as we exhale, we cactus the arms out wide like we've done before, but we're going to drop that back knee down just a little bit, finding this lunge. And then we inhale, straighten that back leg as we lift the arms. Exhale, cactus the arms out wide, bending into that lunge, dropping that back knee. Inhale, we lift back up once again, strong through those legs. Exhale, cactus the arms out wide, drop the back knee. And then this time, nice and slowly, letting that back knee come all the way down towards the back of the mat, untucking those back toes. Inhale, lift the arms, finding this low lunge. And then exhale, straighten the front leg, folding down into our half splits once again. Pulling those toes back. We can stay here if you want to find a little bit more into this stretch. You can shimmy that front heel forwards just a bit. So widening our half splits. You can tuck the back toes and step that back kneecap just a bit. Again, deepening into this splits almost. You don't need to go too far. Just take it where you want to take it. Big breath in. And exhale. You can edge down just a little bit more. Have a few more breaths, and then take it down a little bit more. Having that weight into the hands will help here, taking a little bit of the weight out. One more breath, inhale, and exhale. And slowly here, there's no real graceful way to get out. We're just slowly bringing that heel back in and then slowly stepping that back kneecap, finding ourselves back into our half splits. And then from here we inhale, shift forwards to plant that front foot, framing that front foot with the hands and stepping straight back to our downward facing dog, walking through the legs. And going through that on the other side. We inhale, lift the left leg up. And then exhale, stepping that foot as close as we can between those hands, just checking in with those feet, making sure that you've got that stability. As we inhale, stand up, finding our high lunge, lifting the arms. As we exhale, we find those lunges, cactus the arms out wide as we drop that back knee down, so opening the chest as well. And then inhale, lifting back up, lift the arms. Exhale, find that lunge, cactus the arms out wide. Inhale, lifting. Last time, exhale, drop the back knee, cactus the arms, and then this time let that back knee come all the way down towards the mat, untuck the toes. Inhale, lift the arms, find that low lunge. And then exhale, straighten the front leg and folding down into our half splits. And again, we can stay here, just really pulling those toes back, finding that stretch to the back of the legs. And if you want to take a little bit more, you can start to shimmy that front heel forwards a little bit, or hopping that back knee back. Just take it where you want to take it. Just remembering to take some big deep breaths, breathing into the stretch. If you're having the weight into your hands here, take a little bit of that pressure. If you have something handy like a block or a pillow nearby, you can always pad it underneath your legs or your hips, helping with that support as well. Inhaling and exhaling. Just a couple more breaths here, really breathing into the stretch. Inhale and exhale. And now from here, we're going to slowly start to come back. Take your time here. Don't try and pull the legs back in, just slowly bringing them back together, finding ourselves in that half splits. And then we inhale, shift forwards to plant the foot, plant the hands, and stepping all the way back to our downward dog. Once again, walking through the feet. And then bringing the knees down, untuck the toes, find our child's pose like we found at the beginning of the class. Inhale and exhale. Rolling over onto one side of the hip to bring the legs out in front. From here, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees fall out towards the sides. Now finding a little bit of an open hip here. Let those knees draw out wide. You can take a hold of the shins or the ankles and even start to use your arms or your elbows to let those knees draw out a little bit wider. You can stay here keeping that chest up, or it might feel a little bit nicer to find a little bit more of a forward fold. Whichever variation you like. Nice long breath through the nose. And exhale. One more breath wherever we are. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly bringing those hands back up, walking the body up. Take the hold of the outside of those knees to bring those knees back up through center. Plant the feet out in front, hip distance apart. And just shimmy the butt up towards the heels and then rolling down onto the back. Nice and slowly. Head comes down. Making sure you can tickle the heels with your fingertips. The knees don't fall out wide, but they're actively squeezing together. Finding our bridge, we inhale, press through the heels of the feet to lift those hips up nice and high. Making sure we don't turn our head from side to side. You can even start to walk the shoulder blades underneath the body. Really start to find that lift through those hips, puffing the chest up. You can even close your eyes here. Inhaling and exhaling. Our next inhale, coming up onto the toes, lift the hips a little higher, and then as we exhale, rolling down the back, nice and slowly. Hips come down last. And then as we get there, just tick-tock those knees side to side. Releasing through that lower back. And that's next time the knees coming past through center. Let the left leg go out long as you bring the right knee into the chest, squeeze it in. Do a little wiggle with that shin, side to side, getting into that hip a little bit more. And then guiding that knee over towards the left. Just releasing the spine in this twist at the end of the class. Letting the knee fall down towards the mat. You can take the right arm out towards the side, encouraging that right shoulder down towards the mat. And again, we close our eyes. Breathing into this twist. Really feeling the breath drop down into the belly. And on next inhale, come back through center. Let that right leg go out long as you bring the left knee to the chest. Again, squeeze it in to start with. You can do a little wiggle side to side, getting into that hip. And then slowly guiding that knee over towards the right, encouraging it down. And then letting that left arm fall out towards the side. And if it's okay in the neck, the gaze can follow. But we close our eyes. Really focus on that breath now. Melting into this twist. Feel the body heavy against the ground. And on next inhale, coming back through center. This time bringing both knees into the chest, squeeze it in. Little rock side to side, round and round, massaging that lower back one way and the other way. And then letting both legs go out long. Find our Shavasana these last couple of minutes. Let the feet go to the corners of the mat. Arms down by the sides, palms facing up. And slightly tuck the chin to lengthen out the neck. Closing the eyes. We'll take a cleansing breath, which is where we breathe in through the nose, holding at the top, and then open the mouth and sigh the breath out nice and loud. So when you're ready, we inhale through the nose, really fill the lungs up as much as we can, and we'll hold at the top. And then open the mouth and exhale it out. Letting the muscles relax and release. And then letting go of the breath. From here, we'll start to deepen the breath. Wiggling fingers and toes. Gently building some movement back into the body. Circling the wrists, the ankles, moving the arms. And you can take your arms up overhead for a full body stretch. And then in your own time, rolling over onto your side. And then taking your time, coming up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing the palms together at the chest. And namaste.